It's a big two-parter to start for you. What was the original idea that started it all? But then also, did you have a break story moment on Longlegs, an idea you came up with that made you think, like, it is whole now?
What a great question. The original intention was to make a movie that more people could access, that would please a sort of a greater swath of the general audience, and I thought the way to do that would be to sort of cue Silence of the Lambs and sort of refresh people's memory of that and their memory of the experience of that, and to kind of just like snuggle up next to one of the great things of all time, as a means of sort of getting into something else, right? Sort of like going through the door of that, but then opening up into a different landscape. So that was the intention behind that. That's how I started to move. Was there an aha moment? I think in the movie, it always, because we're doing spoilers, in the movie when she, after Longlegs kills himself in the interrogation room, and she goes to her mom's house, and she goes inside, and her mom's outside in the nun's garb with the shotgun. To me, like, when I had that, and I had the quality of, she shoots the FBI agent through the door, and then she goes around, she goes and makes sure she shoots a second time. I had this, like, that was a moment where I was like, I understand how in it the Ruth Harker character is, how invested she is in this choice that she's made, and you get, it's almost a weird sympathetic attitude you start to take towards your characters, which you want to do. You want to like your characters no matter who they are. And so there was something so sort of like efficient about her in that moment. So just like, I'm really going to get the job done. Like, I'm going to shoot this FBI person. I'm going to blow them up twice just to make sure that my daughter's safe. And when she does that action, and seeing it in the movie now, it is for me still the part of the movie where everyone's like, oh, well, fuck, I thought this was a whole other fucking thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Such a beautifully brutal string of events. I can't. A little more of a simple, straightforward question, but why the name Longlegs? How did you settle on that?
It's just, it has, I don't know if it has meaning or not. It doesn't have meaning. I like words, and it's a good word. It sounds good. It sounds sort of scary, but also sort of fun. It sounds It sounds like 70s to me. It sounds like something that maybe like Robert Plant would have sung, like in a Zeppelin song. Like, it has like an old pinup quality to it. Like, it invokes a certain time, I suppose. And there's an awkwardness to it that the character has, sort of an uneasy clumsiness to him. I don't know. It just feels good.
Great success.
It's
definitely eye and ear catching.
Yeah.
Maika, last we spoke, we talked a little bit, like lightly at least, about backstory. I kind of wanted to dig into the in-between now. And specifically, one thing that caught my ear both times is when they mentioned she wanted to be an actress, and then all of a sudden she decided she wanted to be an FBI agent. Did you figure out like what happened to her that made that switch happen at that point?
Yeah, I think, there's a very big changing point, obviously, on her 9th birthday. It's an incredibly traumatic experience. And it said, when a person goes through a traumatic experience, that's kind of where your maturity stops. I think it's the same with, like, kids that get super famous at a young age. It can kind of shut down this growth or maturity. So I thought that was something interesting to play with. And like what Oz has said, there's like this very sort of Lee prior to 9 and then Lee post 9. And I think it was so brilliant with bringing that line. It just showed this so polar opposite young girl to what she is now.
It's like you'd imagine Lee Harker being like
auditioning
in a play, to be or not
that'd
to
be so sweet.
So there's like pre-9 Lee, there's post-9 Lee, there's also pre-brain ball breaking Lee, and post.
Yes.
What was it like figuring out how that felt for her? I guess emotionally and also physically, what that does to her.
Yeah, I think, again, with Lee, there's so much that has been suppressed, so much that has been blocked out of her mind. And I think, within a very short period of time, almost everything gets brought to the surface, and everything that she thought she knew is gone, is destroyed. And I think you sort of see her, everything sort of falling down around her, and how you sort of handle all this information. Yeah, it was a lot.
I love the shot after when she comes to in the basement and you get that upside down shot. This movie is filled with so many stunning frames. I feel bad because I'm essentially going to ask you to pick your favorite child now. Do you have a single favorite frame in Longlegs?
The very first shot of the movie was always the first shot of the movie from the minute that I started to do it, and from it's a fixed camera from the passenger seat of Longlegs' car looking through the black veil to the house that they're going to up the road. And that, we just got it exactly as I saw it. And it's rhythmically right for me. It's matter of fact in a way that's right for me. It's like, this is just what's happening now. Like, this one day a car just comes, and then everything changes, right? Like, that's just how life is, right? One day the thing happens and everything was fine, and then it's not fine. That approach up to the house is just right for me. I think we really got that right.
One of many beautiful, beautiful moments in this. I feel like beautiful is a weird way to describe the movie, but it makes all the sense in the world to me. I also feel like a jerk asking you both this question, but I can't stop thinking about the film, and given where it ends, I can't stop thinking about what her next moves are. How much thought have you put into that? Is it a situation where the evil continues to follow her? Is there any chance she has to repeat the cycle?
I've talked about it a little bit. I feel like it is complete for her, like what she does to her mom, like where she has to get to at the end, her final act with her mom is the worst thing that you can do, right? Like matricide, let's say, is probably the lowest form of that's like your worst moment, right? Mm-hmm. You can't be like, oh, well, something else sucked worse than that. So I think that the fact that the devil gets it to this place where that's what she has to do is the devil's like,
okay. Yeah. So it doesn't matter that Ruby's doll has not been broken.
Not my problem.
Okay.
Hands up on that one.
I like that. I feel like that puts my mind at ease a little.
Sure, it's contained.
It's contained.
It's
yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. Congratulations.